I want to start by acknowledging the people of East Palestine and Ann at the Ohio EPA who's done a great job on this tragedy, and just say that I think that our leadership, our media, and our politicians were slow to respond to this crisis, in part because a certain segment of our leadership feels like the people of East Palestine are a little out of style. They have the wrong politics, they're a little too rural, maybe a little too white.
And let me say, they are not out of style. They live in a community, absolutely, in East Palestine that is the majority white. They are not out of style. They are working class, poor and working class, and maybe even some middle class white people who have felt the pain that poor people and any other, and working class people in any other community would feel, whether they are black or white or Hispanic or Asian or Arab or the swirl in between. They are working class people who have been hit hard by an economy that has not been friendly to them, has not done them any favors. So J.D. Vance is sitting there as if he really has some concerns about the people of East Palestine. We wish that he did, but you about to find out that he really does not, that he was just talking those words, but he's put no substance behind them. I actually had a chance to visit that community, and I saw, felt, and heard the frustration of people who feel as though government has left them behind. And guess what? Government has indeed left them behind. So it turns out that J.D. was one of those politicians who worked slowly and intentionally so in terms of holding Norfolk accountable. Check out this reporting right here from the Lever. The Lever is holding it down. J.D. Vance helped lobbyists weaken his rail safety bill. You read that right. If you're only listening, you heard that right. J.D. Vance helped lobbyists weaken his rail safety bill. The Ohio senator quietly delayed the timeline for safer tank cars that regulators say could help prevent train spills like the one in East Palestine. So my stunt double, obviously, she had to jump into this. She had some thoughts immediately. Let's put up what my stunt double had to say about this situation. J.D. Vance helped lobbyists weaken his rail safety bill. In today's episode of Bought and Sold Politicians, you will see many faces in high places in this episode, but right now we are focusing in on Senator J.D. Vance. And here's more. In the wake of the catastrophic derailment and chemical release in East Palestine, Ohio in February, bipartisan rail safety legislation committed to quickly end hazardous material shipments in the antiquated tank cars, which regulators said had failed at higher rates during the Ohio derailment than updated fortified tank cars on the same train. The Lever goes on, but last month, the bill's co-sponsor, Senator J.D. Vance, a Republican of Ohio, quietly amended his own legislation to delay the tank car change by years. So not months, y'all, by years. At the request of rail and chemical industry lobbyists. According to lobbyists, Senate testimony, manufacturers would have been unable to comply with the faster timeline, even though one of the lobbying group's members has previously said manufacturers could build and retrofit tank cars on this production schedule. The article further highlights how Vance cruelly delayed this. Now I want you to notice he quietly did this. So while you saw him earlier in a clip talking about the forgotten people of East Palestine, he quietly changed his own bill to benefit the very lobbyists and the very corporations responsible for what happened to the citizens of East Palestine. On May 10th, the Senate Committee on Commerce, Science and Transportation adopted a Railway Safety Act amendment authored by Vance and Senator Maria Cantwell, a Democrat from Washington, that delayed the tank car enhancement deadline from May of 2025 to December of 2028 at the latest. You see the Democrat getting in on this too. After the amendment passed, Vance touted the American Chemistry Council's support for the bill without mentioning that the lobbying group had backed the change to the tank car rules. Vance, whose home state is nurturing a growing petrochemical industry, is one of the Senate's top recipients of chemical industry cash. And all you gotta do, baby, if you are ever in doubt, I want y'all to listen to Senator Sister Turner right there when I say this to you, all you gotta do, baby, is follow the money. That's it.